So for those who don't know, I come from an education background. So I've really enjoyed watching what some people will say children, but young people around, watching them from day one when we came in. There we go, no. To where they are today, sitting around, having a chat, drawing pictures, all of those things. And it's amazing to see how they've developed. These are people who live with conditions, which most of us have had to deal with during our lives. And ideally, we wouldn't have to be dealing with it. There we go. But we are. There's a difference between dealing with a condition that you live with and actually still having a life outside of that. So the fact that they are able to get up, they're able to kind of join in with each other and enjoy each other's company, besides all the other things, has been absolutely amazing. So the youth initiative is kind of some of your fault, because you did the screening programs so well, and we're now diagnosing people at a much younger age, which means that we have a gap in where we can share information. So the plan with the youth initiative is to inspire young people, to get them involved in sharing their story, but more than that, to advocate for people, not just for the condition and identifying that, but also to think about how it impacts on their lives, how they can socialize without it interfering with them, how they can go to educations, different societies, to be able to just generally navigate life for us. And so we're still having a negotiation about what we call the young initiatives, as in age-wise. Most of us are young at heart. You would have noticed on the dance floor last night, I've seen some interesting young moves, but generally we have to stick to the fact that it's probably the 18 to kind of 30-year-olds. So we, as a group, we will discuss where those barriers lie. But these are the guys who have to navigate those difficult times of going from childhood into a young adult. How do they, first of all, get the parents to let them have a little bit of freedom without causing chaos? That's always a good idea. And as growing up with the condition, for me, I can talk, and some of the others, is we do rebel. Everybody rebels against something. So rather than getting them to rebel against medication, I'd rather rebel about whether they have a belly pierce or earrings, that kind of thing. So ideally, that is where we will kind of get to, where this is part of their lives, but it's not the only thing in their lives. So because we've created this gap through the early identification and screening that we're doing, we thought rather than us telling them how it is and what it should be and what it should look like, we'd rather hear from them and build a kind of group where they can kind of take us to the next future and get people involved a bit more. So part of that, we have to decide, is it a genuine need or is it a nice to have? Looking around in the room, I think everybody can agree that this is a genuine thing that they have to be able to work together and find solutions to, rather than it being done to them, rather get them involved and get them to do it with us. As I said, it is going to be more of an issue as we go forward. HoFH, most of us were diagnosed early. FH, as we know, is still being diagnosed much later, and Lp(a). But as we kind of get to these things where things are working better, medications are working better, treatments are working better, then it should become kind of a part of a normal life cycle. The impact of the youth initiative, we already have young ambassadors who go out talking. We have Avery, who has joined a conversation at the World Health, which was the first time, I believe, that she was talking, Michelle. But she's done amazing. We've got Sherelle and Maria, and I can go around the table, Aidan. All of you guys have done some amazing work already, and that's without us having to help you develop that this is your voices coming through. You are growing in confidence. You're able to kind of put yourself forward in such a way that people are responding to you in a respectful and positive manner, which is a big kudos to you guys to be able to do that. The ambassador representatives will not only, we will help them through guidance, but also through education, different programs that we can help support them so that they can build those leadership skills, those communication skills, which not only will help them with advocacy, but also as they go into their professional lives, as they develop into their own individuals, hopefully it'll kind of transfer into those as well. The plan, I think most of us will agree that the youngsters in the room are already quite empowered. Even the youngest one is quite happy to make her voice known, so I don't think we have to empower them too much more. But we want to establish a safe network for them. From my experience, and they can correct me, anybody, not just youngsters, will talk to people if they feel safe, if they feel comfortable, if they feel that they can trust you. And that is a big part of making sure that we can build this network on that. It doesn't mean that they can't have fun. It doesn't mean that they can't have a laugh, but also understanding that there's a time and a place and that we'll be able to build on that as we go forward, and they can kind of give some ideas as well. We have started a group for chat already, I will say, as the older versions. The technology is letting me down a bit. I'm getting one of them added to it, but we're working on that. And so what we'll do is over the next kind of few months, we will develop that further. We will have some meetings together so that they can give us ideas of what it is they need from us to be able to put some ideas forward as well. Next steps. As I said, we're discussing about the guidelines of who will be part of the group. One or two of us will be chaperones because we don't fill in the right age gap, but that's okay. What it is that they want from us. What do they need to be able to put forward their stories and feel comfortable to share things? When and how we create that environment will have to depend, because some people are going to university, some people have got work, so we're going to have to fit that in around everybody's kind of lives as well, which is, as you know, even in everybody's lives, that's a bit tricky to do. And we have some suggested activities already. So first of all, we've all come together. Everybody had a nice time last night, but it's what can we do to go forward? Because sometimes it's nice to come away from other things and have that environment for you to be able to actually sit together and talk, and how we can facilitate that. By participating in the FH Ambassador project, they'll have the opportunities, as I said, to develop their communication skills, their leadership skills, but also experience in going into rooms where it could be quite intimidating. Sitting with professionals, with politicians, and how actually you manage that. I think everybody can agree that that's a skill that not only for advocacy, but growing and moving forward, that's an amazing thing for you to have, to be able to build that I can walk into a room, I can have a conversation with anybody, put my point across, but in a way that is not confrontational, and that they can start to negotiate things as well. And so we are planning to move this forward. I keep saying that, but in order to show you, I know, see, it's payback. So I have a couple of videos to show you of how these young people have already actually, on their own, started this project. We kind of coming in halfway through going, actually, we can help them build it. But some of them have already taken initiatives. As Emma said, they've already been part of the social media front. They have shared things. They're much better at it, at hashtags and all those lovely things. But I thought I would share. Aiden, you're up first. There we go.
FH, is dat een dansmove?
Nee, FH dat staat voor familiaire hypercholesterolemie. Een heel lang woord, weet ik, maar het is eigenlijk een erfelijke aanleg voor een verhoogd cholesterol. En dat betekent dat je ouders je iets hebben gegeven wat eigenlijk niet zo goed voor je is.
Is dat belangrijk dan?
Ja, want FH leidt voor een verhoogd cholesterol, wat weer leidt tot een verhoogde kans op slagaderverkalking.
Dus?
Nou, dan krijg je dus meer hart- en vaatziekten, of in ieder geval een grotere kans op hart- en vaatziekten. Denk aan een hartinfarct op jonge leeftijd. Nou is er ook iets aan te doen, want je kunt jezelf laten testen en het is behandelbaar. En bewegen helpt ook heel veel. Dus wat mij betreft, veel dansen en veel doen. Ga los!
So from a previous conversation with Aidan, I believe that video was quite complicated to make at times. The people in the room found it difficult to get them to focus, really, kind of. Anyway.
We'll go into subtitles.
That's it. And we also have a song. So I'm going to play, you okay?
Okay.
Mój ziom mówił, jaram szlugi tylko w piątek. Ogólnie jestem fit, jestem zajarany sportem. Mój ziom mówił rok później leżąc w werce. Paliłem za dużo i to zniszczyło mi serce. Mój ziom mówił, że każde żarcie to chemia. Czy ze wsi, czy z miasta, ten sam sywi schemat. Mówił, że szama na zdrowie wpływu nie ma. Dziś waży ponad 100, serce płacze jak dedal. Kumpela mówi, że na coś trzeba umierać. Pracuje 24/7, lubi pracy kiera. Nieraz stres i tlen zabiera. Łapie chaos powietrza, to taka maniera. Ziomek mówił, że u lekarza to on się nie widzi. Każdego boli w klacie i mam dupy nie spinać. Mam 2 dychy na karku, tam sami emeryci. Tak w ogóle to musi po wczorajszym walnąć klina. Serca pilnuj z prawdą ramię w ramię. Nie ma na to idealnego leku. Tego świata sercem jest zamęt. Zwolnij trochę, tak mało widać w biegu. Serca pilnuj z prawdą ramię w ramię. Nie ma na to idealnego leku. Tego świata sercem jest zamęt. Zwolnij trochę, tak mało widać w biegu. Zajaraj ten syf, nikt zabronić nie może. Dealer nie będzie płakał z kwiatami na zorze. Biegnij, od dzisiaj chyba możesz. Od jutra się ogarnę, to naprawdę marny wzorzec. Raz w tygodniu melanż do odcięcia, czy to ma sens? Nie masz czasu, może raz w tygodniu basen. Mówisz, że twój portfel prosi się o kasę. Ile przewaliłeś w piątek, będąc wśród tych ćpunów?
We can go through them. But just to show you the variety of skills we already have, these talents are amazing. So we might as well build on it. So our vision for the future is to be able to make sure that not only do we bring these young people on board and get them engaged in a positive way to raise an awareness and to make sure that they understand what they need to be able to do to have a fulfilled life going forward. Is that it? Yes. For everybody. Yeah.